Alright, this is the inside of the transfer case from my 05 Ram 1500. And it is in remarkable shape for its age. There's really no damage to any of the gears that I can see. The only problem is with the case, there's all this like cracking type. I don't know what it is. It might be a rough casting or something. I don't know. But it's been good this long. I don't see it going bad anytime soon. Now, I just wanted to show you real quick how this thing works. This shaft here is for the rear drive shaft. And this one, this sprocket over here, comes out to this shaft, which goes up to the front axle. And so currently, it's in 4 high, 4-wheel drive high. And as you see, I turn the drive axle, and it turns, or I turn the rear axle, drive shaft, it turns the front one. And this bearing right here connects to the engine, and you can see that it is turning as well. Now, up here's our shift lever. I come back one like that, and then this top fork slides because I have the cover off the case. Normally, this spring here has this retainer on here like this, and then this side of the case, that retainer pushes up against this guy here and puts tension on this spring, which automatically moves this fork. Now, with this fork forward, even though, wait a minute. Hang on, that should be 2-wheel. Okay. What am I missing here? That's 4. Ah, there it is. Okay. It just, because it's not all held in correct place and it's sitting here, it kind of doesn't work properly. But with this fork, this first fork forward, you can hear it skipping, and I can turn this shaft independent of the front shaft. Normally in the truck it wouldn't be doing that noise because everything would be setting properly and working, but the drive shaft, the rear drive shaft, is connected to the front. But as you can see, this front drive shaft can be spun independently of the rear. Now, we come... Oh, this has just got so much tension on it, it's kind of hard to do it. But okay, now that should be neutral. If you can kind of see that rear gear back there is kind of moving a little bit, but not completely with this one. And as I kind of spin this drive shaft, the engine is independent. This is the transfer case in neutral. And what allowed that is this front fork is forward, and then there's a second fork back here, and that fork has moved, let's see, the fork has moved forward as well, right? I think, yeah, it's moved forward 1, and again, I need to tap it with a hammer. There we go. And now it's in 4 low. So these are connected together, and if you can see, there's planetary gears on the shaft, and those planetary gears is how we get the low gear. And as I slowly rotate the rear shaft, this front shaft that goes to the engine is actually spinning more than the drive shaft is. Kind of see how that front shaft is turning faster. That's because 4 low uses those planetary gears in there, and this particular case has a, let me turn this over the right way, has a 272 ratio, which is a 2.72 ratio, which simply means that for, let me think about this, make sure I get this right. For every 2.72 turns of the crankshaft, the input shaft, the drive shaft turns once. Yeah, that's the way it is. So 2.72 turns of the drive shaft equals 1 rotation of the drive shaft. Did I say that right? 2.72 turns of the input shaft is 1 turn of the output shafts. Yeah. So this shifting mechanism in here is this fork system is the same thing that's in a standard or manual transmission in most vehicles. They just have a lot more forks. But that is the quick and dirty of how this particular transfer case from an 05 Ram 1500 works. And that's all, folks.